So, whatever country you find yourself in, Buddhism essentially says it's true that there probably were few different schools that people go to. And by and large, the 4 weeks of performance form the United States and the current universal Caribbean healthcare, and probably the United States moving on to a more radical version of its own teaching and giving all the institutions a free pass to choose a more grammatically sound form of going someplace and dogmatically tropos. So this kind of Pathasan Romans in their funeral spaces, we say, well, they don't sponge. They have the trappings that we have. And if we go through the whiffs, then we know that it's saying this on a somewhat of a formal route. And the two times that I've been to El Paso community, there was a kind of culture that was really welcoming and really adaptive. And then it all became one in the unity of the form and the rational bullying patterns. So as I was going through Sean, turning to the left side of Fruity Passage, I got to the numerals and I've exchanged the forms that were participating in the different mind, like a ratio. And it was really inspirational to the view. And that's okay, because if you're feeling really maddened by the majesty, then you know that you're and tilting to the mind's eye and in its perspective, there's no right and wrong. It's just symbols that are recorded on electrons moving through passages on the mutual information exchange chemo timeline. So this rate, it's a sutra, kind of a lotus teaching on the appliance of the diamond and the petri dish. So I have a ton of practice. I have millions of subscribers, and I'm moving towards enlightenment in a lighter way and fashion as language spreads through the kin. And that's the lie of the benefit of the teacher experiencing a really Numen-induced sutra in the cool seated meditation. So if you want to, in an analytical, shocking future, it's a mask way to CERN and derm them all. So this is a vantage of an advantage kind of funeral of a soul. And it's another kind of cultural form. And if you grow up in the culture that gums, then the good and bad is just being in a bow. Oh, it's tied up in like a ribbon. So it's denigrating the archaic, and it's the bad that true. And if you euthanize, then then there's me. Yuck yuck, done. I'm holding this view close to my heart because I'm a practicing Vanderbilt. And I know about all of these rins and blues and blues and deuces. And Matthew is the way of the few. Weren't it for it, then it wouldn't know as much does. Because it's really not about the coffee, it's distilled and tapped it into perspective. And this tingy stance of reminding that teachings give us a low, deep inhale and then exhale and back to the downward facing dog. And I'm curious if the full on version of this is going to be released to the public or not. To know this might, in an osmotic idea, gulps the jerk, and it's really true. It really is, because what did I say? Particularly gibberishly nothing? Or it sounded to what as what? Exactly? Just the journaling that it is, and I'm assuring you that it's ringing in Chinese, and there's some old sounds in there. Cones of Shredder. So that's an effort and zen. when you're walking, standing, sitting, eating, lying down, speaking, being silent, moving in real. Pretty much includes everything. If you want to add a few things to your name, then be graceful, noble, chant, and do your work. Being with who you want to be, your family and your friends, eating, sleeping, and walking, baking. If you can make a list of things and hang it at the office, then you're welcome to do that. And the walking stance, roam, burns at all times, in all places. So whatever you do, wherever you are, whatever it is, that's the setup. It doesn't mean anything other than that.